Hi and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Candace and this is Candace Brianna. So let's just dive into what this video is all about. As you can tell by the title, I'm just going to be introducing you guys to me. I'm going through a channel rebrand and I'm changing the right direction in the flow of my channel. So I want to start off with a basic introduction to who I am. So first things first, my name is Candace, clearly, and my middle name is Brianna. My nicknames though, I can call me Kay, you can call me Casey. Kentake is like one of my names, but I don't really get called that. That's just like who I am. But my sign, I am an Aquarius. I am a February Aquarius and I'm roughly around the age of 26. And honestly, I do have a really good career. I am a junior technologist, full stack developer, software developer, computer scientist, whatever you want to call it. I have my degree in computer science. I'm actually planning on changing my career. Actually, I'm in the process of trying to do that, getting like my certs and stuff like that, so to go into cyber development. So it's still in the technology field, just changing it up just a little bit. But the main reason why you're here, let's just get into the mental health part. My diagnosis, currently, I am bipolar, but in the past, as you can tell by some of my past videos, I was diagnosed schizophrenic. Also, I was diagnosed with bipolar depression, and then now it's the bipolar and schizoaffective. But for some of you who do not understand or know what these diagnoses are, so schizophrenia is basically a disorder where people interpret reality abnormally. Most of the times they have like delusions, hallucinations, and disordered thinking, and most of the time it impairs their daily functioning so that they just can't function properly. So it causes like a reduced or the lack of being able to function properly, and then they like you neglect yourself a little bit in your self-care, and I have done that. And then also with being bipolar, you have like the bipolar disorder, bipolar depression, or they call it manic depression. And it's an illness. It brings severe highs and lows, so you'll have a change in your sleep pattern, your energy, the thinking, your behavior. Like you'll have like one extreme or the other. You'll be extremely happy, and then you'll be fine, and the next thing you know, you're like really sad, lethargic, and sluggish. And that's like what happens with me whenever I'm going through my episodes. Well, the grand scheme of episodes, not the quick ones. I'll notice that all I want to do is sleep, and that's like how it'll happen with my bipolar. But mostly for me, I know my diagnosis deals with more so, as I've talked on here on my channel, like spiritually, because I am aware that I'm a spirit in a human body, and that's why I was like, I'm roughly 26 years old, because my body is 26 years old, but my spirit is very old. And as you'll know me on this channel, and as you know me in real life, you'll know that I'm a very spiritual person. So it's kind of rough. Sorry, it's kind of hard for me in the beginning stages of my spirituality to understand the difference between the spiritual realm and the natural realm, and that's why it was very hard for me to explain my diagnosis and why they diagnosed me as schizophrenic. But now, as I've gone and I've grown in my spirituality and as a person and in my way of speaking, there's just saying like, now you're schizoaffective, because you still possible. It's not that I hear voices, I see spirits, and when I see spirits, I'm able to know what they're trying to do or say and send a message. And it's not necessarily like spirits are talking to me, but it's just the interaction and how do I explain that I'm seeing this type of stuff. So it's kind of a lot of people, like something that I really don't understand, and I pray that I find it and understand it, and like it's brought to my attention, because it's like Christians, when they say that they talk to God and they speak to God all the time, why aren't Christians just all diagnosed schizophrenic? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're hearing voices. But I said that to my psychiatrist, and she kind of was like, and then I just, you know, I haven't talked to my psychiatrist since. But I do need to talk to her. I have an appointment with her this month, so that's just something. I will be seeing my psychiatrist again. I love my therapist, but no, that's neither here nor there. So something else that's been on the list. I have a few questions that a few people have asked, and have I been to a psychiatric unit is one of them. Of course, I've been into the psych ward in the hospital, never like an institution, but definitely in the psychiatric unit for evaluation. And I've been about 4 or 5 times, 4 that I can recollect. I think one of them is it's a bit blurry, but yeah. So then there's also the question of, how do I feel about medication? Well, I've had a long history with medication. Like, at first I did not like it at all. Like, I would take it, I would get fine, and I'll be back to my normal self, and then I feel like I don't need to take it again. That's not how it works. Because what happens is I found myself in a cycle where I was like, I would stop taking the meds, and then I'm finding myself back into the hospital. So now I have learned, and like, I wasn't really trying to get help either. Like, I wasn't trying to find help, but now, like, as I've grown and I've become an adult, and I'm like, I'm way too old for this shit, I need to have the medication. So I'm now on the journey with learning my body, learning the medication, because the medication is actually making me gain weight. But that's another story for another day. But I am a stickler for the medication. And what medication do I take? They have me taking lithium and olanzapine. So, you know, lithium is a mood stabilizer, and olanzapine is given to most schizophrenics, and it helps them. For me, it helps me sleep at night. I take the olanzapine around like 8. That's the plan, because I haven't been taking it on a schedule, so I need to take it on a schedule. It's probably why my weight is like fluctuating like it is. But roughly taking it around 8:30, and then taking my melatonin around 9, and so like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'm ready to KO, because I am a busy woman. I have a lot of things on my plate, and I have a lot of things that like, I have stuff to live for. Like, you know, I have shit that, you know, I can't just lose like my mind. Like, I have things that I have to do, so I have to make sure I'm taking my medication. And then as you grow, as I'll like show you guys on my channel, the importance of your medicine and why you should take it, and the real on my journey with wanting to take the medication. How do I feel about my spirituality and my diagnosis? So what happens is, I believe like my gifts were ignited in 2015. It was a prophecy that said by the time I turned 21, I'll be walking in my full gift. So I got it a little bit early, like a couple of months, like 4 or 5 months before my 21st birthday, and it just affected me, everything that I was seeing. But due to the fact that I was acting on what I was seeing, and I was like ready to fight every time, I had to learn. I was a babe in the spiritual realm, so I had to learn what I was seeing, how I'm supposed to react to it. So, and I have to understand that I will be acting strange and not like my normal self, because I'm walking in the spiritual realm, and a lot of people don't have the gift to see that. So a lot of things, like what I feel with schizophrenics and people who have other mental disabilities or illnesses, I call them stigmas, because I really don't know like how to say it properly where it's not offensive, because every time I don't like the way that people speak on mental illness and disabilities. Like, I do not like it, because it's something that they don't understand. So they put you in a box, give you this medicine, and tell you that's what you need to do, and that's not how people need to take and look at mental health. You need to start to understand. Just because you put them in a category, and this angers me, you put people in a category and you don't even really know what's going on. Like, these people are trying to help you, send you a warning, and just because they don't have the right words to say and you don't understand it, they're acting strange to you. No, like there is some type of responsibility that they also need to take in themselves, and that's where a lot of people they don't have that. They don't have that, which is why it's something that needs to be taught, which is what the psychiatric unit tries to help teach you. And like, I've learned that, but now I'm trying to learn and speak and teach other people so that they can understand that in themselves. So that's like what how I feel about like the psychiatric, sorry, I have my notes down here, my spirituality in the diagnosis when it comes down as a whole. But I'm fine. I just have to like understand and let people know when I'm in that headspace and I'm okay. And then I have those moments where it's like I'm not okay, and I have to admit myself to the hospital to reset myself. And that's what happened recently when I had my last episode in 2021. But what did I learn from my most recent episode? Basically when to know I've taken it too far, because you have to, for me, with the spiritual realm, which is when I say which is schizophrenia, why I'm schizoaffective, because it still affects me. Like it's an altered reality, and I'm not walking in this normal reality, so I won't be acting like myself. But I'm able to mask it sometimes, where I'm like, okay, you know, I just see this, you know, this is stuff that I see all the time. But then it's time where God is kind of like trying to get my attention. But I have to understand when the enemy is like also present, because that will send me into a spiral, and I'll lose like a lot of things that I was focusing on. Like some things will just not, you know, it's a risk that I'm taking. But I've like grown so much that I'm just like, I understand when I need to lay low, and I understand when I need to tell people I need help. I need to see someone. I need to talk to my therapist. I need to go to the hospital. I need to reset myself, because some things are just a little bit too much. But what can you expect from me on this channel? Basically, I am trying to, you know, be focusing on mental health and teaching you guys how to deal with your mental health, and also helping people who don't struggle with their mental health, but they have a family, or they have a family member or a friend who is struggling, and they want to know how to, you know, deal with people, like how to deal with them and how to understand them. Because, for example, my most recent episode, I like SOS'd my best friend. I was on the phone with her while I was like destroying everything in my house. It was crazy. And she's like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong? And I couldn't explain it to her, so she called my mom. My mom showed up, and she's like, you in your sleep, because I wasn't sleeping. But my mom is like trying to understand, and I really respect the fact that she's trying to understand, and I want to give her a big thank you, because she dealt with this with her mom, but now dealing with it with your daughter. But it's a bit different. It's not the same thing. But she's trying not to put me in a stigma and put me in the same box as she did her mom, and I love it. Because my grandmother, she struggled, and that's the genetic gene that I got it from. When I first met her, she was like, you have my eyes, I'm so sorry. And I'm just like, it's okay. I don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as something where like nobody else in my family is going to have to struggle and deal with this, because I'm taking the role to make sure that I handle it and I get it in under wraps, so that we don't have to worry about this anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's a possibility, but I will have an understanding to be able to explain it to my offspring, to know that they'll be fine. You just walk in a different gift. So we're not like, I look at it as people as we're not like average humans. Like, we need a little bit of extra help to make us and help us stay sane, because again, we are spirits, are eternally, like for like eternally spirits. The body is what's temporary. So that's kind of like what you'll see from me. And like I hope you guys got a little gist of who I am and how I work because I'm very, very, very hardworking. Like I definitely still finish school, probably thinking about going back, so it's a lot. And I'm like started a business and trying to do this thing, but I'm very like driven, and like the diagnosis does not affect me in a sense of my drive and being able to function not like as a normal human being. So that's what I'm here to help teach people. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little introduction to me and my channel. And it's 2021, you guys know what you're supposed to do on YouTube, but I'll leave it as that, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.